you enjoyed yesterday's show where we spoke about how to order whilst eating out. Well, today is a weight training day. You should have done your cardio this morning already. Remember, you're up to 35 minutes now. We got legs and we've got shoulders. You know it's going to be a hard day, so let's get into it. Make sure that you warm up first and I'll see you at the gym. The first exercise that we're going to do for legs is a seated hamstring curl. So find yourself a seated hamstring curl machine like the one in the picture. You're going to adjust it for your height. Make sure that your ankles are placed upon the foot pads and make sure the top supportive pad is placed firmly upon your thighs. Hold on to the handles in front of you to stop your body from sliding forward in the seat. And you're going to bring those ankles in towards you until they're almost touching your butt. Get a full contraction and then lower the weight until you get a full stretch throughout your hamstrings. Remember, this is just a warm-up set. So you need to be doing around 12-15 repetitions with a comfortable weight just to get the blood into your hamstrings and the fluid into your joints. Once you've completed your warm-up, you're ready for your first set. So remember, you did this exercise last week. You might want to move up a weight from what you did last week and get ready and get into your first set. So make sure that your body doesn't move at all. It's only your legs. So hold yourself firmly in the machine. Breathe out on the way in and breathe in on the way back up. You need to be reaching failure at around 15 repetitions on this exercise. Once you've completed your 15 reps to absolute failure, you need to do 2 more of these sets, resting for about 45 seconds to a minute in between each. Once you've completed 3 sets in total, you can go on to the second exercise, which is walking lunges. So when you're performing the walking lunges like Jim is demonstrating here, make sure that your knees don't travel over your toes. Place all the weight throughout your heels and keep your body upright. Keep doing these walking lunges until you reach absolute failure. If it's a little bit easy with no weight, hold on to some dumbbells for some extra resistance like Jim is demonstrating here. Once you've done 3 sets to absolute failure of these walking lunges, you're ready to move on to the new exercise of the week. Now this is called Sumo Hack Squat. You'll remember that you used this machine last week. This time I just want you to do it with a wider stance, hence the sumo style hack squat. So your feet should be placed on the outside of the pads as far as they can go. All the weight needs to be pushed throughout your heels and not your toes to make sure that you don't add too much stress upon the knees. Just go down until your hamstrings are parallel to the pad before pushing back up. Make sure you keep your upper body flat against the pad and your shoulders underneath the shoulder pads. Once you've gone down to a right angle, it's time to push back up and then back down. With this wide stance, you're going to work more of your inner thighs. Make sure you do around 15 repetitions. You should be reaching absolute failure. Remember, failure is when you cannot perform 1 more rep. So once you've completed 3 sets of this exercise to absolute failure, that's it, we're done for legs and it's ready to move on to shoulders. The first exercise that we have for shoulders is the barbell press. So as you can see how Jim is demonstrating here, you're going to bring that bar down below the chin and then you're going to push back up until your arms lock out overhead. You'll remember this exercise from last week, so you should feel quite confident about going up in weight a little bit this week. Okay, remember this is just a warm-up set, so you can do this with the bar if you want, or just a little bit of resistance. Just to warm up your shoulders, put the blood into the muscles and fluid into the joints. So once you've completed your warm-up sets of around 12 repetitions, it's time to go into the first set, which will be to absolute failure. So make sure that you put enough resistance which will allow you to reach failure at around 12 repetitions and then sit firmly within the seat. Make sure that your back is placed flat against the pad, don't slide away from it. Grab the bar and slowly lower it down below the chin before pushing back up. Make sure you keep your upper body straight and push your arms up overhead. Breathe out on the way up and breathe in on the way back down. Once you've completed around 12 repetitions to absolute failure, rest for around 45 seconds, perform another set, rest again for around 45 seconds and perform your 3rd and final set. Once you've completed all 3 sets, you can put the weights back before we move on to the next exercise, which is side cable raises. Again, this is an exercise that you did last week, so you may want to place a little bit more resistance. So you can hold onto the bar, like Jim is demonstrating here, just to support yourself and keep your body straight, whilst with your other hand, you're going to bring that cable up until it's in line with your shoulder before returning back down. Remember, you've already warmed up on barbell press, so you're just going straight into your first set here. You're reaching failure at around 12 repetitions. And once you've completed around 12 repetitions to absolute failure on the first arm, it's ready to move on to the next arm. So bring that cable across the body to get a full range of movement, and then all the way up until your hand is in line with your shoulder. Once you've reached absolute failure on both arms, that's one set completed. Perform 3 of these sets in total to absolute failure before moving on to the final exercise, which is rear cable raises. This is the new exercise of the week. So when performing this exercise, you're going to be using the same machine. You might want to go a little bit lighter now on this exercise, as it is a new movement. You're going to bend over at the waist, keep your legs slightly bent, keep your back flat, and bring the cable up to the sides as if you're doing this movement with the dumbbells, except you're doing one arm at a time with the cable. Make sure that you keep your arms slightly bent as you come up, just like Jim is demonstrating here. And get a good contraction at the top of the movement before bringing the cable across your body for a full range of movement. Keep your elbow pointing up towards the ceiling as you perform this exercise, and you can support your body with the opposing arm onto the support of the machine. Once you've completed around 12 repetitions to absolute failure on one arm, it's time to move to the other. Do 12 to absolute failure on that arm, and then do 3 sets in total, and that will be shoulders finished for today. Now, the final body part we have today is lower abs. The exercise that you'll be performing is lying leg raises with your legs straight. Make sure you don't cup your fingers behind your head. Just have your hands either side of your head, just to make sure that your head and your upper body is flat against the floor. So now you're going to bring your legs up and then back down. You're going to keep your legs straight, and there's no particular rep range on this exercise. You're just going to keep going until you go to absolute failure. Once you've reached absolute failure, you're going to rest for around 45 seconds, and you're going to perform this exercise twice more until you reach a total of 3 sets. Once you've completed your 3 sets, that's it, you're finished for the day. So make sure that you go and cool down for around 5 to 10 minutes, have your protein shake, and I'll see you back at the office. That was a hard workout, wasn't it? But it's okay, you've got the whole weekend to recover. If you haven't had your protein shake with your Vitargo already, make sure that you have it now. And remember, over the weekend, you've got your 35 minutes of cardio to do on the Saturday and Sunday. Today's the end of week 5. Next week, on Monday, we start week 6 with chest and triceps. So I'll see you then.